What's up, Pisces gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie, and we are going to read your tarot cards here today. This will be a general message for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Please come into this reading with an open heart, an open mind, a desire to better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate with you, feel free to push them aside or to revisit them at another date. I want you to feel motivated, empowered, inspired after this reading. If you're not feeling that way, it might not be your message, or again, the messages might not resonate for you yet. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's read your tarot cards. They're popping. Ooh, Queen of Ghosts, Wheel of Fortune, one more. We're using the Halloween themed tarot because why not? We're headed into Scorpio season. Which in theory could be a nice time for you Pisces, because Scorpio is a fellow water sign, so any placements, any planets moving through Scorpio are going to, in theory, have an opportunity type aspect that comes into your life. And this will also be true for Cancer as well, and of course Scorpio. So let's see. Queen of Ghosts, so some nice watery, intuitive energy. I get the idea that there's a messenger of emotions. And it kind of catches you off guard. I feel like at first you feel like you don't want to hear this, or you're only looking at, I don't even know if the negative. There's something about this is going to surprise you in a positive way, but you're only seeing it as a negative. So really challenge yourself not to jump to any conclusions regarding this being a negative scenario or situation. It could be that something presents itself as that, but then you're going to look back and be like, oh, it makes so much sense that happened, because otherwise, whatever this is, I wouldn't have met that person, or I never would have gotten that job. There's some sort of message that at first it might feel like troubling news. With the Wheel of Fortune, though, that is not the case. If anything, it may challenge your comfortability. I think that's really important here. The Wheel of Fortune says it's time to expand, it's time to change, it's time to go bigger or invest more, or travel, whatever it is, invest more money. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy, so Jupiter always wants more. And so be careful that doesn't happen in excess, right? You don't want to be drinking too much or spending too much. But I actually think this is going to be really positive. I think it's trying to get you to move out of a cycle that it was probably productive, but I think the universe is saying, okay, now we got to really do this. We got to double down. We can't just stay in limbo or in la la land for a while. So if anything, it might sort of jolt you into action when you weren't necessarily ready to move forward with something. But again, this is a huge card about having faith, about having trust in the universe. And I mean, this is kind of adorable, right? You have a divine pairing here. This almost to me feels like this, in metaphor, of course, like this idea of almost Cupid, but it's more of like Mercury. It's like a trickster energy. Is Hermes, is that the right one? Who represents Mercury? Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's some sort of talk or discussion that's going through another person to some sort of couple that either is already established or a couple that will be established in the future. So if you're single and looking, this very much represents like possibly a future romantic partner, male or female, doesn't matter. For others of you, if you're already with a person, I'm almost getting the idea of like a secondhand story, or what is that expression? I heard it like through the wind, or second. I don't know what that expression is coming through. So again, it might be that you're like, why didn't my person tell me this? Why am I hearing it from another source? Again, I would really challenge you to not come at your person too aggressively, because they're in the same boat. There's something like they find out through someone else about you. And so when you guys meet up, again, Wheel of Fortune, positive, good, growth, expansion. But for some reason, you don't take it as that. I don't know if there's a trust issue there, or let's try and find out a little bit more. This is kind of a unique reading here. In fact, let's do a different deck. What is being relayed to the Queen of Ghosts here? So the Queen of Cups. The Seven of Wands, Pride. And then the Ace of Cups. So I do like that. It's almost like somebody told someone else about their feelings for you before you. And so like, that's what I mean. It's like almost like your fear or your anger or your agitation, it's almost unwarranted. It's like you're getting upset that like you heard from the best friend, like, oh my God, I heard so-and-so is going to ask you out. And you're like, well, why didn't they just, I don't know what this is, Pisces. Like, I don't know if you're nitpicking or maybe it's more complicated than that. But the thing is, it's the Ace of Cups. Like, these two are made for each other. Cute, right? Dirty Dancing vibes. But yeah, I almost like the idea of a loudmouth or a loudspeaker. Someone can't keep their mouth shut. It could be that, okay, it could be that this is like a very romantic surprise, or someone was planning something in secret for you, but they told their friend and their friend went and blabbed it to you. That's sort of what I get. Like, this guy's holding the loudspeaker, right? Like, oh my God, did you hear so-and-so's asking you out or so? And, you know, maybe it is kind of like, oh, tacky. Like, maybe this person was going to propose to you and you found out through someone else. Either way, again, like, zoom out from this perspective for a moment and just think in terms of long term. I think you're going to get something that's going to make you very happy. So that expression, don't shoot the messenger, I actually think you're going to be annoyed at this person, or something about the way they say it to you is troubling, but then when you hear it from the actual source, you're like, oh, that's so much better than I thought. Or I just get the idea of like, talk is cheap, or whatever this person is saying. It's not the whole story, so take it with a grain of salt. Again, I really like this Ace of Cups. I think it's, even what they're saying to you in theory is positive news, but they may put some spin or twist on it. That's what I mean. There's like this trickster energy with like Mercury vibes, like social butterfly, but also spreading rumors. But again, when I say that, there's something, it's not necessarily a bad rumor, but either this person gets the details or the facts wrong, or you interpret it the wrong way. It could be this person speaks in a very blunt manner and they like the attention, but you sort of internalize something they say and you start to get all up in your head about it. This is moving forward, and so you may as well embrace it, because the Wheel of Fortune, you know, you can't hold back. Like, this person is going to have to roll forward with it. I think you'll be surprised at how positive this turns out. Can I get one more on this King of Ghosts? And feel free to swap the roles too. This could be you wanting to tell, you know, your person or ask somebody out, you know, some sort of spreading of emotions, or possibly a creative collaboration, but you know, it's probably romantic, I'll be honest with you. So if this is you, Pisces, and it might very well be careful who you tell. I want to say mum's the word, because you may have someone who's like there's like a kink in the chain, or the message doesn't get through. So if it's really of that importance, make sure you deliver the message yourself. Relaying it through someone else, it's going to get all jabbered, or you know what I mean. And Mercury is actually going to go direct fairly soon, but it will be in shadow. So it may have something to do with that. Again, just miscommunications, or someone misconstrued what was said, or... And the thing is, I don't even think this person is really that malicious. I think they like to be the center of attention. I think they like to be comical, and you know, they like to be like the stand-up comedian. So when they say it, they don't realize kind of the power of their words and how they're so of themselves. They don't realize that their words are being misconstrued by other people, because maybe they lack tact or diplomacy, or do you know what I mean? Like, this person is not subtle, but with that, okay, thank you, Spirit. It's actually the opposite. This person they exaggerate. That's a really good word with the Wheel of Fortune. There's an exaggeration of the scenario or what's going on, and yeah, for some reason, someone's kind of upset about it at first. I know, I'm reiterating what I already said. Here we go. I just heard there's nothing left. There's nothing left. Again, that's an exaggeration. There's something left. So if that makes any sense to you about what someone may be relaying, like, I don't know if it has to do with money or, yeah, I don't know. I'm almost getting the idea of like, pick the bones dry. Like, oh my gosh, there's nothing left. What are we going to do? Yeah, that's an exaggeration. Like, cool down, calm your jets. Yeah, okay, perfect. This King of Ghosts, rather than going through this Mercury trickster fellow, he needs to relay it himself. And I actually love, this is the Knight of Swords in this deck, the Knight of Thames. Typically the Knight of Swords, he's kind of riding with the wind. He's very fast, he's very aggressive. He has kind of like that metally tin soldier suit. It's very blunt, it's very harsh, it's very just get in and get out. This person has like a very nice smile on their face. It's warm. There's like green earth and what do we want to call it? There's like vegetation. It's very lush. It's like this person knows it's not worth rushing the message, because if they do, it won't get across correctly. It's like they have to choose their words wisely, and there's almost like a holding back of energy, or a need to go through the information so that they present it in a way that goes down smooth. or it's just more fleshed out. That's what I would say. The Knight of Swords is one of the quickest moving knights. Knights always bring change and movement into our life, right? And swords, it represents our mind and our communications. Like nothing can move faster than our mind, right? Even our mouth, some would argue. Maybe you're dealing with someone who's like Geminian, right? Very Mercury, Virgo type energy. With this though, because there's so much like heavy earth in the background, I'm almost getting, Knight of Pentacles vibes. Maybe you are dealing with a Virgo. That is your sort of polar opposite, which in theory could be great compatibility in that you guys kind of equal each other out. But typically the Knight of Earth, the Knight of Pentacles, he's the slowest moving knight, and I actually think this is like a beautiful combination of both. There is a very important message to be relayed, but this person knows that it's worth taking the time to fully, again, flesh it out or make sure that the important things are highlighted or bulleted or asterisks, you know what I mean? To make sure the main message gets across and not getting lost in the details. There's something very kind of, and it is as a Pisces reading, kind of like that Neptune of, oh, it's foggy, it's blurry, like I don't really understand what this means or how it's going to impact me. I think if any of this makes sense to you, whoever is relaying it, they need to do it themselves because this person is not trustworthy. And this seems, I have to be honest, this seems like your best friend that you roll your eyes at, like, oh God, again. They don't mean well, they're kind of a fuck up sometimes, and that's what happens. Talk is cheap. Don't take people at their first word. Proof is in the pudding. Speak to the source directly. All those things are really good advice here. Yeah, again, if this is romantic, it's like somebody asking you out or someone proposing or, or wanting to elevate things to the next level, but then you may get the idea that this person's breaking up with you and it's exactly the opposite. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. I always say that. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. Five of Pentacles. This person feels isolated for some reason. So it could have been that this could be a situation that has already transpired, but again, you haven't sort of peeled back the layers to understand the truth of the matter. You may be acting off of what you were told by someone else and isolating this person or giving them the cold shoulder or the silent treatment or being passive aggressive. And this person's like, I have such nice news to share with them. Like, why are they... This person's confused by that too. So like, this is like your classic just giant miscommunication, which to me, it's just kind of silly because I think this is all going to pan out. Let's ask about this. What can I tell Pisces about this Wheel of Fortune? Literally, the pairing, the divine pairing, the classic couple, King and Queen of Cups, speak and feel their emotions quite fluently. What's between them is the Wheel of Fortune. Do you see what I mean? Like this, even if we remove these cards, like this, we just have to get them looking at each other. Do you see how they're looking in opposite directions? These people need to communicate. This could just be like an argument, especially for like a married couple where again, somebody opened their big fat mouth and said the wrong thing and now it put a weird wedge in it. That's totally what this is, right? There's awkward feelings. We just need to fix it. Judgment, going back to the past and fixing something. And something about, I just read Constantine, something about the idea of a constant, it is fixed. It is, again, you might be dealing with a Scorpio or a fixed sign, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo. The idea of fixity, that's sort of in direct competition with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune is like the wheel. It just wants to spin and move forward and bring you forward on a journey, something that is maybe Scorpio, Sagittarian, cuspy, where one person may be very settled and comfortable in what is constant, right? What is fixed, what has been the tradition, the mainstay, persists, right? Something about this, it is being changed up in a very positive way. So again, jumping to negative conclusions of, oh, well, if we move forward with this, it's going to change everything. And if we move away from my parents, I'll never see them and blah, blah, blah. Not true. Absolutely not true. There's benefits to this. You're just not seeing them or you haven't fully, again, thought them through yet. It's hard to resist the Wheel of Fortune, though. Like, again, it's the idea of, like, backpedaling. It's harder to do that. So, and yet some of you may have to with Judgment. The Emperor. Yeah, this could be an issue about the structure that you've already started to build with someone. Maybe that's a metaphor, but maybe it literally has to do with land or property if you guys are starting to build a house or look for a new place to reside. It may have to do with work issues or something to do with a father figure. This could be your father, even though they're kind of presented as this young, kind of, rebellious leather jacket wearing whatever. This could be an older person who just acts very immature. There may be a wedge about, this could be one of those things where you don't get along with this person's in-laws, or your in-laws rather, like you don't get along with this person's father or vice versa. There may be mixed messages about the father overstepping their bounds on whatever, lending you money or borrowing money, and again, someone said the wrong thing. Like it could be like, oh yeah, your husband lent me this money and it's so great. And you're like, what? Well, because again, like it didn't come from the direct source of the reasonings why. The Emperor can also represent your own job, especially kind of entrepreneurial type stuff. The Emperor is typically related to Aries energy, so something much more independent, something or someone who kind of chases their own passion, but someone who can sometimes be overly aggressive or assertive or jump the gun, or speak in a very blunt, aggressive way, or challenge opposition. The Emperor isn't always the easiest energy to deal with, but again, it totally depends what cards are around it. So again, something good comes from this. Don't jump to any conclusions. I'm going to leave you with that, Pisces. That kind of seems like we're just kind of reiterating what we've said. So please like the video. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you. And I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.